Well, I want to know what's going on with your character this season, because last season the whole thing fell apart. It was just.
I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of how and why he does things that he does. What makes him tick. You know, I think he's a serviceman that came back and was thinking, hey, I'm going to rebuild my life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of my mother. And then you find out in season 1 that his mother, passes away the night of his arrival. So I think we're going to explore, a little bit more of those things. The things that make him, that really sort of test his humanity and give him some different colors. I want to see a lot more colors from Sean.
So when you say the last person you could trust, was there more than trust involved in that relationship?
Oh, yeah.
I think Rashad is an honorable character, and I think I don't know what you're necessarily trying to insinuate here.
Feeling-wise, not necessarily action-wise, more feeling-wise.
Well, feeling-wise, I think
Did you take both seats? Oh.
I have a large.
We're talking about feelings here. Feelings between Rashad and Katie.
Whoa, I'm in the middle.
Is that why you took that seat?
Cool.
Yeah, I think trust is a big thing. I mean, sometimes it's not so much whether it's more going on. What you say, is there more going on? I don't know. That's the point of it. The point is that there's a person that you can trust, and if you can trust this person and keep certain things from people that you should be sharing them with, with this other person, then I think that creates conflict. That creates a big dilemma. And I think that's why they're having such a tough time in their relationship with Sean.
We've heard that the show is going to go in a more sci-fi direction this season. Are you excited for that?
I'm not. Absolutely.
I hate I was hoping to be a little more of a medical thing. I've got a little plus 1.5 coke that I was hoping to have. But no, it's fine. It's fine. You guys like it, so I'm along for the ride.
Sarah, Katie came into that empty house at that last scene of season 1. Do you think in her mind, now that the family's kind of broken up, it's divided, is she kind of maybe regretting what happened with the resistance or her involvement, or is she just kind of gearing up to really go after it in season 2?
No, I mean, I think if we started with literally, but also with the metaphor of Geronimo, I think Katie's mindset at the top of season 2 is more, I will fight no more forever. She went in with all the passion of a zealot, and the human cost, both on a macro scale and also on the scale of her family, was enormous. I don't think she regrets the passion of her ideology, but I think she probably regrets the naivete of just sort of jumping, so to speak, jumping into bed with a group of people, and well, that went somewhere.
I heard it come out, and I saw
I know. It went from there to there to there. Of aligning her ideology, of ceding her agency, actually. She basically went to this group of people and said, here, I want to be involved. I'm going to put you in charge of my ideology. They took the ball and ran with it, and I think it was a catastrophe.
One of the greatest strengths of the series is that it has these two equal leads, both of which have opposing points of view, and they're on opposing sides of something, but that neither is right nor wrong. Do you generally agree with where your character stands in terms of the resistance versus cooperation?
Ooh, that's hard. I had a hard season because, like Sarah was saying, both sides carry an emotional burden with them, collaborate, you have this shame and this self-hatred and this, yes, I'm convincing myself I'm doing what I have to do for my family to survive, but you feel like shit about it. You don't agree with that at all, that ideology. I mean, Will most definitely is more of a resistor and wants to get the world back in any way possible, but he's not in that position, and then Katie has her situations and the consequences of resistance, and to our family and also on the larger scale. So it's hard. It's a hard one to carry around, even off screen. I was like, I'm sick of this shit. You know, like I was mad at collaborating. And it makes you want to go out and break the law or something. You know, so
Which you did.
which I did. No, but both are valid. Like you said, both are valid, and
So,
depends on what your perspective is.
so this question is for each of you. What's been your weirdest or favorite Comic-Con moment for, out of all the cons you've been to, and doing it for the show?
I got a secret. I'm a virgin.
Oh,
First time here.
First time.
First time here.
So the answer for Tory is you guys. What has happened?
Yeah, quite overwhelming.
Yes. Gosh, I can't remember. It's every season is unique. This is like my 8th, and I'm always first of all coming off a night work, so I get here at 3 in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I gotta.
And it was his birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
So I get here thinking, God, I don't know if I can do this. And then as this day progresses, I'm infused with all this great energy. You know, it's really a wonderful experience, Comic-Con. You're here, you get really enthusiastic fans, you get really enthusiastic journalists with great questions, and people that are engaged in what you're
Actually
doing.
watched your show.
And actually watched your show. So that is fun. And you know, it gets you going. So I always love that when that happens.
okay.
This is my second. Last season was funny because we did a table, and so that was my first one, my first time, and you know, Walking Dead and Prison Break and Lost, and these guys are vets. This is my first, and I kind of have never been in a show that was a Comic-Con kind of a show. So it was just funny because we were at a table, people were signing stuff, and they'd be like signing for Sarah, he was signing all of them, and they get to me, and they'd be like, are you his lawyer? I don't need to be here. And I was like, no, I'm going to be on this show too. It was really fun. But that was just, it was sweet to see all the energy, and now I feel like I'm a part of it.
Your character, Proxy, or former Proxy Snyder, what is next? I mean, I thought you were dead at the end of
I did too.
So, any hints on my baby next?
I'm not dead. And history is riddled with great political comebacks. I don't know if that will happen, but it's possible. I have ways to come back now. It would definitely be a comeback if I get to be back in control. I'm out of the colony, but that doesn't mean that I'm not in charge of something, and it doesn't mean that I'm not back to my wily ways, trying to manipulate everyone and every situation to my benefit.
So
he's Snyder, he's just elsewhere.
Is your character a guy who feels like they have to be in charge of something?
Well, that's interesting because I certainly, you know, in the first season we find a guy who's like, oh, Jesus, I'm in charge of everything. Who never had that sense of, oh, I have to do. But I think having had a taste of it, I think what I'm sensing so far is, yeah, he liked it. He also doesn't want to get killed. But beyond that, he really wants it back.
What is it about Carlton's work that he's bringing you back?
Mystery. I'm lazy and I like to not know anything. I love big storytelling. I love, same when I read, I read constantly, and I love anything that's a series of books. I like big stories that unfold, and so does Carl, apparently. So, and I like mystery. I don't like to be told everything. I don't like just a one-note type thing. I don't. So a medical show for me would be hard to stay as interested in as something with a big, expanding, unfolding story that constantly poses other questions and answers few. I like that. I like to be tortured.
Speaking of mysteries, do you guys have hypotheses about what the aliens are like?
I don't think they're very nice.
I don't know actually on that. I don't know if they're. I've thought about that. I was like, are they not nice, or are they?
Hey, are the humans beneath them?
Are they
about the
smarter
factory,
and have an idea bigger than what we have? I don't know. I like to think of them as we don't like them, and then suddenly we get to know one and go, you know what? I like you better than my friend down the road. So I like that idea.
They're just here for In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, they're here for
I feel like the factory though lends it to more evil than good.
The factory,
Yes.
the wall.
Yeah.
It's possible that they're treating us as a resource the way we have continually treated our planet as a resource, and that maybe there's a level of karma involved in that. You know what I mean? Which is to say that their attitude towards us is the same attitude that we've had towards, take your pick, fish or the rainforest or whatever. You know, I mean, that they would think it would be a very strange thing to anthropomorphize people. Why would you? They don't have feelings like that. They don't experience things at that level. You know,
I told her that word. So I've never even heard of that word.
learn something new every day.
In season 1, you guys kind of had all these support systems where, you were in charge, you had the resistance, you had a partner, you had the resistance and everything. Now you go into season 2 and it seems like there's nothing. So what's it like going into season 2, feeling like, I feel like you guys are all on your own, like all these different stories are going.
I don't know. It was all season long. I was working with Josh.
Yeah.
It was great.
I know.
I don't even know who he looks like anymore. And I
Agree.
remember now.
He doesn't drive me
He
to
and I
work
never-
anymore. He doesn't get my coffee. It's terrible. Terrible.
Yeah,
So
we've all
it's
had
actually
scenes
secretly
with
great.
totally new actors. I mean,
It is, yeah.
It is.
It's a big new world.
Yep.
All new people, so it's interesting.
And I asked your fellow cast members this question, so I'm going to ask you guys. Have you reached a point with your characters where you feel like you're really comfortable with them and you're able to now tell the writer that, hey, my character wouldn't do this, or are you still trying to find your way?
I'm always trying to find my way, just so you know.
I'm trying to find his way too.
But I mean, I feel comfortable. I feel in his skin, for sure. But because of the situation, I think even in his skin, he's having to ask himself constantly questions and what's at stake and where do you stand on this and that, because that's what he's being faced with daily. So I like being a little off balance.
And I think for me, the character's changing so fast. Sorry, did I just cut you off?
No, I burped. So, and yes, you cut out my burp, but I'm
so
fine
much.
with it.
Yeah, I don't think Katie's stayed still long enough for me to get a sense of kind of who she is. I exist in a constant state of certainty of failure. Do you know what I mean? Like I wake up at 4 o'clock every morning and go, fuck, I should have done this. That's what that was, But it's, I think a certain level of comfort creatively is a kind of death. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like probably the last day of my career is the day that I go home and I'm like, nailed it. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to not know where your feet are.
Yeah. I'm still questioning things I did in the pilot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I question a lot of what you do.
You should. You should. I won't argue with that. But the first season was really, for me, it was about faith, just sort of jumping off the ledge, not knowing where it was going to go. And coming back this second season, there was a bit of a foundation that's been established. Relationships, obviously, between Charlotte and Katie have been established. And now there's a level of trust. But there's still an anticipation of not knowing, and just sort of anxiously awaiting the next script. And when I'm, what I've read so far, I'm saying, oh wow, didn't expect that. But it's better than what I expected it to be. So they're constantly changing things, throwing us curveballs, so there really is no one way to prepare for it. You just sort of stay open and stay in the moment.
That's right.